So you clicked on this video because you would like to know what a pro does in Call of Duty Mobile. Don't worry, I got you covered. I have studied pros extensively over the past couple of weeks, and I have given you all in this video 10 things that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile. This is sort of a sequel to a video that I did a long time ago, but that video that I did over a year ago now was only in regard to Battle Royale. And hey, if you wanted to see a more Battle Royale specific tips and tricks video, I don't know, maybe you do. I'll have it linked down below in the description. But today's video is 1,000 times better because we're going to be talking about some of the bigger game modes, the game modes that most people jump into on a regular day basis. And hopefully with these tips, you're going to play Call of Duty Mobile better. I hope you all do enjoy this video and you maybe learned something new. That would be great if you did. Make sure to leave a like if you do and you thought this video was well made, and subscribe to my channel for lots more Call of Duty Mobile content coming out very soon. Thank you so much, guys, and let's get into the video. All right, guys. So the first thing that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile is they know their way around the maps very, very well. They might have jumped into private servers, either with their friends or by themselves, and they just explored for hours at a time. They learned every single map in this game. They learned all of the secret hiding spots and all of the ways to maneuver around as fast as they possibly can. And after they learned the map, they could then jump into a public match and then translate all of the knowledge that they just gained into that match and then crush everybody else that they come in contact with. You might notice in my gameplay that I'm showing in the background, several times I am in certain maps and I stay in certain areas for longer than other areas. And that's because I have studied these areas extensively and know all of the best spots to get the most amount of cover and get my highest kill streaks because I'm not getting shot from every single angle. That is something that pros will do. They know all their maps and they know them very, very well. The second thing that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile is they know the proper attachments for certain game modes. It's not enough that you have a good weapon for a certain game mode, okay? It's great that you jumped into TDM and Crossfire and you're using a sniper, but if you don't have the proper attachments, what's the point, man? You could be using an SMG and it's almost doing the same freaking thing. If you jump into Hijacked, you're going to want to use attachments like your fast reload or your quick draw, and that way you can limit the amount of time that you're sitting there reloading and not die every single time you run out of ammo. Going back to Crossfire, you're going to want to use something like your long barrel with a rifle, and that way you could even use an AR in Crossfire and play pretty well because you have that much more range than you would previously when you weren't even using a long barrel attachment on your weapon. Pros will always know the proper attachments for certain game modes. Study them, and you'll actually see that they change their attachments depending on the different game modes that they jump into. The third thing that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile is kind of similar to the first thing that I mentioned, but a little bit different. They don't stick to one map. Now, I don't really know too many live streamers out there who play Call of Duty Mobile every single day, but if you start to watch them, you'll notice that they don't jump into the same thing every single time. Like, you're not going to watch some guy go into Crash for 3 hours straight, okay? Because they need to know every single map. You can't be a pro and only know one map. You need to know all of the maps, and you need to know all of the different game modes. It's not good enough that you jumped into Standoff and you can get a perfect score free-for-all, because what happens if you jump into Summit and you suck? You're not a pro. You're just good at Standoff, and that's it, right? Pros will know how to jump into every single map and understand them all as well as every single game mode in Call of Duty Mobile. You'll notice that. They're actually very knowledgeable with every single map and game mode in this game. The fourth thing that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile is they watch other pros and they study them. Now, they might be lying and say, "Oh, no, I don't watch other pros. I'm so good, I do it all myself." That's a lie, okay? That's a lie. You have to watch other pros because those are people that you might jump into the very next match with, okay? What if you're sitting there and you jump into a free-for-all and you are a live streamer and another guy in your lobby happens to be another live streamer? You studied the other guy didn't study you. Well, you're going to know all of the other guys' little tips and tricks and secrets and hiding spots, and you're going to be able to use that to your advantage, and then you're going to beat them. So pros will always get every chance that they have to watch other good players learn all of their tricks and then use that to their advantage. So in case they come in contact with them in the future, they're always going to be better than them. The fifth thing that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile, this one is in regard to Battle Royale. They will always get into the zone in advance. Simply put, they don't die outside the zone, okay? Because they are so smart, they know how the circle is rotating, and they will never get caught outside that zone, okay? Just watch. If you've ever actually watched Battle Royale YouTubers in the past for Call of Duty Mobile, you'll notice they never get stuck outside the zone, or if they do, it's probably because they had some challenge that a subscriber told them to do. Oh, stay outside the zone for half the match and then go back in and see if you can win. No, okay, they're never going to sit there and then be like, oh my god, whoa, the blue zone... Holy, I'm stuck outside. No, they're going to always rotate in advance, just in time so they don't get stuck outside the zone, but not way in advance so somebody could be behind them, okay? Watch the Battle Royale YouTubers, and they will do it the best possible way that you can. Next up, the sixth thing that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile is in regard to how you use your weapons. Now, if you go into your settings, and then you look at your little controls here on the first little section, you can actually choose between one-tap ADS or hipfire or some other things like that. You're going to choose hipfire for everything aside from snipers. Snipers are going to be ADS. That is what most pros do in Call of Duty Mobile. You want to use hipfire with your ARs and your SMGs because if you're shooting at somebody at range, maybe 30 meters away, that's great. You can aim down sight, but if the person gets way too close and starts running at you, you don't want to sit there and aim down the sight when the person is within hand's reach distance of you. It's not going to be a fun time. But with snipers, you're always going to want to use ADS because it's a simple press and hold of the button, and then the second you let go, it fires, and it's just so much more convenient, so much more seamless. That's how you watch pros use snipers in Call of Duty Mobile and play so much better than you. The seventh thing that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile is also sort of in regard to their controls. They will put their knife button over their firing button. Let's talk about that person that was 30 meters away and starts running at you. You start shooting at the guy, but the guy has a knife in his hand. Oh god, your gun's not doing enough damage. You're going to have to knife him when he gets too close. Well, what happens when your knife button is on a different spot of your screen? You're going to have to move your finger and then try to knife the guy before the guy knifes you. But if your knife button is on top of your firing button, it will automatically just knife the guy the second the guy gets close enough. And then you're going to kill him before he kills you. You will knife the other enemy faster if you have your knife button on top of your firing button. It's just common sense, okay? So please, put your knife button on top of your firing button, and you're going to get a knife kill that much quicker. The eighth thing that Call of Duty Mobile pros do in this game is jump into gun game a lot. Maybe they don't do it on stream, maybe they don't do it on YouTube videos too much, but if they're just practicing and having fun, they're going to jump into gun game. And if you don't jump into gun game and you're watching this and you're a pro, well, you probably should, because that is the best game mode to learn how all of the different weapons work. If you jump into TDM or free-for-all, well, you're going to be using 1 or 2 weapons max the whole time. That's it. You're not going to learn how every single weapon works. If you jump into gun game, you use basically every single weapon, one after another, and if you can play well in gun game, then that's saying a lot. That means you can use all of the different types of weapons from SMGs to LMGs to a freaking rocket launcher, and then you can do well and win. And that is the perfect characteristic of a pro. The ninth thing that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile is also in regard to Battle Royale. This is sort of a strategic thing that pros will do if they're playing Battle Royale in a very competitive way. Unless they're just going for kills as fast as they possibly can, if an airdrop falls from the sky, then they're not going to just run at the airdrop. They're not going to just sit there and say, oh yeah, let's go, free gun for me, and then just run straight at the gigantic glowing red airdrop that every player sees halfway across the map. No, that would be stupid, because any other player would just sit there with a long scope and kill you the second you get up to that airdrop. What you should do is, if you're a pro, you're going to get close to that airdrop, but not too close, maybe on a hill nearby, and then just watch. See if other players start running to the airdrop, and then you can snipe them, pick them off one by one, and then once it's clear then you can go to the airdrop, and then you can get your weapon. And then you're not going to be at much of a risk because all of those players that were nearby were already killed. Pros will always not immediately go for the airdrop. And then at the very, very end of this video, the final thing that pros will do in Call of Duty Mobile is have a lot of friends in-game. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, I don't have any friends. No one wants to friend me in-game. Listen, comment down below your friend code, and we're going to do this little campaign in the comment section of this video. If you see somebody who says, I don't have a lot of friends, please friend me, then friend them, okay? Let's have everybody become friends with one another in Call of Duty Mobile, and that way they can send gifts with one another, okay? The more friends you have, the more gifts can be sent between one another, and the more stuff you can get in the game. You can get a lot of cards, you can upgrade your weapons easier, and it's just a better experience for everybody. Pros will always have a lot of friends, and if you're watching this video and you don't, comment down below your friend's name, and that way we can get more people friends with one another, and more people can get more gifts. And yeah, that's basically everything, at least in terms of this video, that pros do in Call of Duty Mobile. And with that being said, that is it for today's video. I hope you learned something new. Fingers crossed you did. If you didn't, well, you're probably already a pro, and I commend you for even wanting to watch this video. I don't exactly know why you wanted to watch this video, because you're already so good. You don't even need my tips. Dude, you have progressed. You're fantastic. You're a legend. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I hope you all thought this video was well made, and I would greatly appreciate a like rating, and subscribe to my channel for lots more Call of Duty Mobile content coming out very soon. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you all later.